Well guys, I had to sell the 165 diesel. It was a fun little toy to have, but I'm not done with these old Masseys. I just went and picked up this Massey 10. It's an early style one because it's got the starter generator on it. Probably needs some paint on the rims, as you can see, but everything else seems to be an original paint. Still has shine on it. We'll get this thing unloaded and we'll dive into it here. Well, we're back here. It's been a couple snows recently, as you can see. Plows on. Little did you know, I was putting duals and tire chains and weights on it since the last snow, and that's probably why all this snow's gone. Probably scared it off, but we're gonna get back here on this 10. So in the last video, or last clip, which was probably a month ago now, I was talking to you about the things this needs. So I'm going to do that. So we'll grab everything and show you what we're doing. So since I bought this tractor, I saw it run and then I've done nothing with it. I've not restarted it, I've not retuned it or nothing, but these are the pieces that it is missing. The accessory drive stuff on this side, and luckily I have some left over that are red and match the rims. That this is a 67, so it shouldn't have red rims or red accessories, but since they're already there, I'm just gonna add these to it. So we'll just add this on, and then hopefully I'll try and get this out and put my snowblower on the front and see if we can't get it running well and get it to run the snowblower. So we'll go get some hardware and put this thing together. Even though it's a nice day out, it's still a little muddy, so try and be a little weary of that. But to put this back together, this will go up here and mount on these holes. So we'll run the bolt through, get our nut and lock washer, put them on the back side so it looks a little better. Wonder if it even the right hardware. Okay, it is. So it's just the way they drilled those holes in the frame. You gotta run the bolt in by hand. So this engine is a Tecumseh, but it got a Kohler style ignition put on it by the previous owner. He couldn't figure out the ignition, so he put on the Kohler points and all that on it so it would run, which in my opinion is a little more reliable than the original Massey setup, just because those ignition systems, once they go bad, they're pretty hard to find new ones without spending a bunch of money on it. So we'll get this kind of bad spot. So it's on there with the one bolt. We'll get the other bolt in, and then we'll put the nuts on the back side. Not too bad out today. We've been having freezing temperatures, and it's mainly been around 10 degrees, counting the wind chill in there. So we're definitely gonna take this over what we've been getting. This engine, I was lied to, which I kind of already predicted that, because these Tecumsehs are known for burning oil. He said that they ran an oil gas mix, so when you get these tractors, definitely keep an eye out for that. That's never the case. Nobody ever runs that. So left the fuel on, but we got that part on. This is the pedal assembly. It just goes up like that, and then there's this spring under here that this goes down to a little piece underneath that it catches and pulls this pedal back, and when it is back it is engaged, and when it's up it's locked disengaged. And then the mower deck side of things goes under here, and you have to remove one pulley to get this in, I believe, or there was some, yes you do, because it will hit the frame trying to get this in otherwise. So you have to pull the one pulley off, it goes under here, and you have to slide this through the back side, or whichever side you take that pulley off, and it goes through somewhere. Come on. Through here. It's like a little collar bushing. I guess it'd be a bushing. But that goes through. You run your bolt through. You have to run your washer up. Clear the pulley. And then you run your nut on the back side. Have to put this back because it's in the way. So there is a orientation to this. I thought there was, I just couldn't remember. But the spring for holding this forward on keeping tension goes towards the front of the tractor, and it's supposed to hook up right here under the grill side. So this has to be orientated like this, and that way it will set your drive over to be in line. So we'll go like that. Run the bolt back through the opposite way. Like that. The barn kitty's out running around, so we'll see, might see a little insert to it. One of them's on their way. This one's the fat one of the two. Hello. I don't know where the other one went, but we'll get back to it. So then you gotta run your pulley on after you tighten up the bolt. Not get sidetracked here. This is all 9/16 socket and wrench. So that's on there. And then you gotta grab your pulley and put it on. facing this way. You can see the little witness marks that'll tell you. If I can, I'd like to flip this because this other pulley is the painted one. So try and knock this key out. And then these have needle bearings in there. So that's definitely something you want to keep an eye on for wear, because they can definitely get away from you. We're gonna take this back off so I can flip it, because I want the painted pulley to be on the outside. Put the pulley on facing the correct direction. And then we need a hammer. We'll get you under here. Hopefully. We'll just prop you up. Or I'll try and hold you. We'll figure it out. My shoulder's gonna get wet doing this, but here, we'll just do that. I'm sure you could see, possibly. Make sure your keyway's lined up. And tap her on. And do your best to not hit the pulley part and hit just the shank. You gotta make sure your little set screws are back off the way. And just make sure your keyway's lined up still. And just keep tapping away. And there we are. One of the set screws fell out, but that's all right. We'll find it. Tighten the one up. Find the other one wherever I knocked it. But tighten the two set screws up, and then this is on. I'll quit boring you with this part, and then we'll jump straight to trying to get it to run right. I will say, when you're doing this, you want to make sure that you tighten those set screws. Hello, barn kitty. But you want to make sure to tighten those set screws, because I've definitely flung them before on one of my other tractors. Hey. First day out for months. She is loving it. She was not sure for the first bit of it, but so you want to make sure that these are tight, because I have flung them off before. And then this isn't really necessarily for the snowblower, but so we'll try starting it now. None of the battery's dead, because that's what it seems everybody does, is they swap in their good out their good battery for the bad battery. So this is first time trying to start it in months, and I've never started it on my own. So we'll just bypass this battery and run my jump pack straight to it. Hook up the leads, and we'll try it. Make sure it's in neutral. definitely dead. So I'll try and find a good battery, and we'll come back. Okay, well, I have my very sketchy setup done. Move the hammer. We'll try this again. Nothing. So we'll try a little bit throttle, choke. All right, so let me set you up on a tripod and we'll do some more looking. All right. Confirm we have gas in it. There is gas. I wonder if the person before me mixed oil in it, telling me someone else did. Ooh, we'll just use the hammer. Smells like normal gas, looks like gas. So we'll just try this again and change up some stuff while we're cranking. Gotta hook up the positive or negative. Alright, we'll give it a minute. We'll go back and give you another view. She tried. Definitely smokes, that's for sure. We'll give it another go. Nothing. So we'll pull that spark plug out and see what it looks like. Definitely some smooth going on in that combustion chamber. Get this out of here maybe. I could show you. That's that plug. So I'm thinking we'll just pull the head off this and get a look at it. Alright, taking the head off. I think I have this on a low setting. These are all things you need to look out for when you're buying one of these, because obviously you could get burned pretty good on this. But I heard it run, so, and I was interested in a radio that came with it, so we'll just take it apart and look at it. Do the flywheel shot side of it. Get my tripod to cooperate. I really like these side covers. My other tin has the open style. I would prefer this. You're gonna have to get a wrench on that one. So we'll just pull out my pliers. Come on. I don't know that that's correct to be on this side here. We'll go get pliers or some wrenches. Seven 16ths. One of the cats is yelling at me that they want in. We'll get this shield off, and then I guess we'll probably get our last look at the shop cats. They're both looking at the door. So pull this off. They're both interested in the airplane flying over. Come on. Put a long enough bolt on it. Alright, that's off, so come over here. Go save the cat. I hear ya. Alright, well. Alright, I guess that's the last of them. We'll hurry back. Don't want to make this a super long video, but it may just turn into that. So, actually pretty cool. I've never actually pulled this off on this tractor before. So we'll set everything preferably out of the mud. Sadly, you have to remove literally everything to get this head off. But I think it'd be safe to do before something goes bad. And it was due to laziness. Take these off. Actually, the exact same style pulley my other motor had off my 66. That's pretty cool. So put that back up there. Grab our wrenches. Hopefully it's 7/16. No. Okay, I gotta go grab the 1/2 inch. Okay, last run for wrenches. 1/2 inch. There's a side one over here, and then there's one on the other side at the bottom or towards the bottom. I don't know, but these have been in there a long time. They're all pretty stiff. This is a pretty nice original tractor. Talked to the owner before the owner I bought this from, and he has a tiller for this that I'm probably going to go pick up from him because it was sold with this, and ooh, that's tight. But it was sold with this, meaning it probably was sold from the factory with this tractor being in the shape this is in. It probably was the same tiller sold with it, because the tiller is in just as good a shape paint wise. So the bolts are all out. The throttle needs undone from the case, or the cover. Needs a flat head. I have a Phillips, but not a flat. Got our stubby flathead. There's a little nut or holder for the cable. We'll get it off. Hopefully it leaves a witness mark, so when we go to put this throttle back on, it will rev the same and won't be over idled or over governed. So, but that's not too big a deal. We can just watch how the carburetor reacts when you put it back on. So that's off. Everything should be off. Yep. You just gotta watch, because the fuel line runs on the inside of this. So you just have to be careful not to rip it out and dump fuel everywhere. But I'm gonna take this off. I want to look and see if this does have the original ignition in it still, or if they robbed it. Because he was very weird on how he told me the story on this. Okay, so it has the original ignition module. That's pretty cool. We'll hook this back up. Okay, so definitely needing a head gasket. Very little compression. That is bad. Well, the spark plug's out, so we can just be hopeful that that's why, but I'm not going to be real hopeful. Make sure all our bolts are out. The head. Come on. Anyone else have to fight the hog rings on their impact? I hate them. My old impact hog ring fell off, and to me it was a way better without having that hog ring on it. But I get that it isn't always handy, but I like having no hog ring on mine. Sorry guys, hopefully that's the last run for tool. I'm in the middle of like 10 projects. So I'm working on my turbo diesel tractor. You'll get a video on it soon. It'll probably be like a halfway thing, because I messed up and forgot to film any of the doing it, because it was a lot of looking and trying and seeing what it works, what won't work. So we'll set these head bolts down. I don't really matter where they go. So cover the head bolts, flip it over, and that's what we're looking at. So pretty crusty, lot of crustiness to it. Head gasket on here looks okay. As you can see, a lot of burning oil, but we'll just have to clean this up and hope for the best. So grab some brake clean or starting fluid, whatever I got. We'll start with PB Blaster, just because that's what I have and I'm not going to waste starting fluid on this, but get you over here, spray it off, and we'll just do this until hopefully it cleans up. So we'll keep up on this, and then I'll cut back to doing the top of the piston and that area on the engine. So I'm gonna keep this up, and we'll cut back to cleaning the other part and doing this side when it's clean. All right, so now we're to the tractor side of it. We'll roll this over to there where everything's closed. Move this out of the way, spray it, and then take this in your rag and just clean her off. And once everything's good and scraped looking, you might have to come back with a screwdriver or something to get the hard-on carbon. Wipe off the accessory areas. Now what I noticed on the head is somebody dropped a bolt and it got wedged between the head and the engine, piston, and valve. So that's not ideal, but we'll scrape it off. Standard bore, that's cool. So this has not been rebuilt before. Scrape that hard stuff off. Try and stay as flat as possible to prevent scoring, but if you score it, it'd be all right. Definitely be careful around the valves. Lots of carbon buildup around the valve. Lots of buildup on top of the valve too. Just on the intake one though. We'll spray it off again. Hit this area. I can see it's definitely needs this cleaned more. Overall, not the worst I've seen, but it definitely helps to clean it. Get some of the slop around it too. And then we wipe off. Open this up. Wipe off the cylinder wall. and we'll take a look at it while we're here. Okay, so definitely some wearing. Get a flashlight, get a better look. Not terrible. Can't see cross hatching, so it's definitely worn, but no ring lip. Yeah, I don't know. Doesn't seem like much side to side on the piston. We'll move it up a little bit. So maybe we'll open the intake side of the valve. Exhaust doesn't look awful. I would say it's probably just a valve seat. Yes, it's valve seat because I can see oil puddling on top of the valve seat. So that's cool. We'll spray some more around that. Yeah, look, not much of that leaked through, so definitely valve seats. So, all right, well, I guess we'll button it back up, put it back together. I'll show you the head, how it turned out. That's what it looks like now. Not completely clean, but it's good enough for this tractor, especially since we know it's gonna burn oil. So, get your gasket. I'm reusing the old one because I'm not gonna put a new one on for this tractor. It'd be all right. It's not gonna be pushing a whole lot of power and not gonna be making a whole lot of work get done with this. So line it up on 2 of our bolts at least. Set it on top and start all of them. Those 2 are started. That one started. Put this one back on, not forgetting the throttle. We'll set you back up better. There we go. Start this one, start that one. Oh, and then we can't forget that these need to get put on after we put this side back on. So this tin has definitely been repainted, unless the factory did this. The decal has been painted over, but this looks like it'd probably been touched up because you can kind of see some of the old paint coming through. So that's all right. We'll put this back together. Pick up our other valve bolts, our head bolts. Make sure our shield goes over the lip it's supposed to. We'll fix this tripod dilemma. Sorry for the poor camera work, guys. This tripod went bad over the winter and now it keeps sliding down, but we're doing our best. So we'll get this back on. Yeah, we'll take this back off. I'll figure out this setup, put the head bolts back on, and then we'll start back right where we left off. All right, we're back. Got this shield back on. Getting back to the head bolts. Had to move the fuel line through so that way all that was fixed up nicely. Always finagling to get these things back in. Maybe if we spin it while we're going down, it'll help. Gotcha, so it's going in now. Now there is a heads torquing sequence that I'll come back and go do after we get these all on, and then we'll see if we can't get her to start up again. Clean off that spark plug. All right, so we'll come back through, torque these after I get them down, and then clean spark plug, go from there. All right, so we got the spark plug cleaned up, head back on, head torqued down. We're gonna move back to this side, button up the shield, the pulley, all that, and to hopefully get this to start. And this doesn't have to be super tight, just enough that it's gonna hold on there. There you go, that's good enough. Make sure your pulley isn't flopping. Throw your belt over and give your motor a spin. Okay, so I think this bolt on this side is too long, so gonna have to back it out. I might have got them swapped, but that is something to keep an eye out too, that you don't get too long of bolts in the flywheel and then it won't spin over. Yeah, you can feel it catching just barely, so we'll back it out just enough that it isn't touching anymore. Spin this around. There we go. And then a fun fact, if your starter generator goes bad, you can take this cover off, and there's this notch here on these pulleys. That notch is so you tie a knot and a string, put the knot on this side of the pulley and wrap your string on the inside, and then you have a pull start. Pretty cool, pretty ingenious for quick if you need to hurry up and get something done before rain or something and your battery goes bad or your starter goes bad. You can go and get the job done still. Which, since this is a gear drive model, it's kind of redundant because you could just pull it with something and it should start up. But cool, pretty cool to just think that they were still thinking about you back then in case something were to happen. Don't have that type of engineering now. So we'll get this cover back on, do my redneck battery setup again, and then try and start her up. So we'll leave it at that. All right, well, we're back. Got everything hooked up, got the throttle hooked up. We'll hook our battery up here, and we'll give this tractor one more shot. That's better. So, does not charge, has to have the battery hooked up. So we'll give her another go. So you have to run full choke. Once it starts, then you have to go back to half. Definitely tired. Said the variable speed was funky. I don't think it's adjusted right. Okay, so it goes to park. Okay, so I don't think it has 4th or 5th, but it definitely has 1 through 3. Choke up, take out of gear. Fourth gear. Has 4th. Throttle likes to slip down. Reverse. Tried to catch it. We'll try it with no choke. Very finicky. It has 2nd. First block, the lock in it is pretty taut. First gear. It has 1st. Alright, well, looks like we need a battery and know little things to get it going, but she's a runner. Back up here. Well, it runs smooth. Definitely some smoke. Try and block it with my knee so I can back up. But she runs. So I guess we'll have to find a battery or just jump this with the old battery in it. And then we'll try and dig that snowblower out or hook something to this. Maybe, I know, we'll put the original mower deck back on. That'd be a little better. Alright, well, she died again, but not bad. Definitely leaking oil. It's definitely burns it, but not a whole lot I can do. Think it's partly head gasket, partly valve seat, but she runs. I thank you for clicking on the video. We'll do a little walk around here. All original Massey 10, other than there's been a little bit of touch-up paint done, but not enough to make a not original. But hope you enjoyed the video. Check out my video about how to get a good shine out of your original paint. I did a video of what I do for that. So thanks for watching, and on to the next one.